What is going on, guys? My name is cosmovsgoku, and welcome to our 6th ever Journeyman Abridged cast interview. Today, I'm joined by the voice of, well, I'm not actually joined by anyone. I'm joining the one, the only. Please welcome Christopher, ThatGuyAnge, Dowling. How you doing today?
I'm really well, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So thank you, first of all, for having me in your Twitch stream studio.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're not here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got a green screen, don't you?
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. Yeah, sure.
You're just green screened in. You're not actually here. You're just part of my overlays now. So, you know.
You'll see me in your stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights from 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, just appearing as part of the green screen.
You know, I'll just cut you out on this scene and I'll use you in something. Fine.
It works for me. So, for those that don't know, who do you play in Naruto and in Digimon?
Well, I guess the main. I'm only really sort of thinking of the main ones that I go, because there are a lot of side characters that I do as well, like Dodo Grunt and actually, have we released that one yet?
No.
Well, anywho, that's one of the characters I also play. Anywho, I play mostly Hiruzen Saratobi. I'm Lee. Nice to meet you. Obviously Rock Lee. Yep. And then I've also got the one, the only, the king of Digi-Rock and Digi-Roll. My name is the one, the only Etemon.
You're going to give us a little bit, That's good shit.
But yeah, they're sort of the main characters that I play. I obviously also do, I've forgotten his name.
Neji?
What's that?
Neji,
thank you. I was literally just listening to him a second ago when I was going through the episode that we're going to play later. But I also play Neji as well. He's actually, in all honesty, Neji's probably one of my favorites to play. So I'm shocked that I forgot. Because he's seriously just the way that I have to just do an emotionless character. Because like, obviously, you know me, I'm very theatrical. I'm very flamboyant and energetic in real life. And then playing someone is just, I'm going to kill you and all of your family, and I'll enjoy it too. And it's just, you know, that kind of thing.
I never get tired of watching your monologue in episode... Watch me fuck this up. Episode 4.
4, yeah.
Episode 4.
Because it's the one after the Chunin exam.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Chunin exam finals.
Yeah.
Your monologue against Naruto talking about why Neji does what he does and why he wants to be stronger. And it was my favorite moment of any release we had last year.
Yeah, no, that was actually, it was a really great monologue, and I really felt a lot through it. Oh, I'm hitting things behind me and making noise. Sorry about that. You're going to have to cut that out later. Or, you know, you could leave it in. It's either or. I don't care. But yeah, no, that was 100% one of my favorite monologues to actually do through the whole scene. Like, it was also one of the easiest too, because as you would know, and I think a couple of people through the Journeyman Abridged also know, I'm terrible at saying most of the Japanese names.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I think there was one time where we literally took like 4 hours to say one word. I might be blowing it out a little bit, but it was that.
I think it was probably Konohagakure.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly, I'm terrible with all those words. So like even saying Sakura Haruno, I think I just stuffed it up again.
Well, it was more or less right.
Yeah.
You're out of practice though. You haven't recorded Lee for a while.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Which actually, I think coming back, isn't he?
Yeah, you start recording Shippuden in the next couple of months.
Yeah. So
How is that for you? Because you're not the first person to record for Shippuden. We've done a couple of sessions with other actors.
Yeah.
But you were the first person in all of Journeyman Abridged to record anything for us.
Was I really the first?
Yep, you were the very first
Really?
Naruto session.
I actually didn't realize that. I thought we had someone else start before me. I don't know why. Maybe I thought it was you and Impolite Bai.
You were the first. So how is that upon reflection? Knowing that you were the very first person.
Well, I mean, at least no one else had to do a 9-hour session where they lost their voice. Sorry, just outing you there. Just that's right. He cracked a whip, and the entire time, you know, it's like a sweatshop, honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, it's absolutely fine, my friend.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm just going to completely derail. Is that a 2020 Digimon Tamagotchi?
It is.
Or is that an original?
It is. It's currently out of battery, but
Yep.
this is, I'm pretty sure, Bandai 2019. So,
Fucking nice.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to completely derail then. But
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I've got to get batteries for it because I was using it for a while, but then it was making like too much noise. And it was too needy, and I was like working, and I can't keep this alive if I can barely even keep myself alive. So, that's what it is.
sorry, I completely forgot what I was saying before that.
I think we were talking about how
That's right.
long you made me record for on that first time, and I missed a dinner and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think one day your partner will forgive me for that. One day you'll forgive me for that.
I mean, I've already forgiven you. I love making a joke about it, making you feel bad, but I've forgiven you. Alex, on the other hand,
All in good time, I'm sure.
but yeah, so it's interesting actually to realize that I was the first. I didn't realize that. I honestly thought that someone else had recorded before me, but that, I guess it does feel good to be able to set a premise to a certain degree. Obviously, how professionally I take voice acting and a lot of my theatrical enterprises that I take on. And being the first, it kind of felt good to be able to set that sort of standard of how you do your recording and also help you to figure out, okay, what's the best way to do it rather than, the actor losing their voice for recording for far too long. And nothing against you, honestly, nothing against you at all. It's not like you would know any better either, because we've never done a recording session for that long previously, even with the Brotherhood when we used to work on that together.
Yeah.
That we never did anything that long. I think we always at least did a couple of hours and then we'd hang out for the rest of the day. Whereas that was literally just a full day of recording non-stop. Like, I think we stopped for lunch for about 30 minutes to an hour, and that was about it.
Yeah.
We just kept recording and non-stop. And it was fun. It was heaps good. And I think, I didn't even have to record for a whole year after that because I'd done everything almost except a couple of efforts.
Yeah.
Because I remember having to buy that mic that I bought. That basically,
In fact, this exact mic that I'm...
like, if you want to just put it in scene a little bit more there you go. You guys can see it,
yeah, kind of. Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
But, the camera's high, so, but yeah, it was...
Oops.
Just moving
Sorry.
the mic.
Yep.
No, it was good though. I actually really enjoyed doing it. Obviously, the aftermath was the thing I didn't enjoy, but doing it was great fun, and I really enjoyed it.
It's interesting as well that you mentioned the Brotherhood, because some people may not know this. Some people do know this if they have liked and followed the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Journeyman Abridged. That we did used to make and produce Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Abridged series. The FMA Abridged by the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And due to circumstances outside of either of our control, you weren't able to complete the series with us.
Yeah,
which is okay.
Yeah.
But how do you feel your journey has been since starting back there to here, and what was your journey from getting involved in voice acting and a bridge series creation and all that sort of stuff to now?
I mean, it's certainly very differently. We were a lot younger back then. I think we were in our early 20s when we started doing all that sort of stuff.
I was definitely in my early 20s.
Yeah, no, I was earlier, like later 20s than you, but still earlier than what I am now in life. And yeah, it was very different. I definitely know that in terms of, no offense, production quality was very different back then than it is now. It's a lot better now, obviously, because of things you've learned and things everyone else has learned as well. Recording quality. So the actual actors themselves have gotten better in terms of being able to do certain things with their voices and all that sort of stuff. We also have different actors on this time around than we did last time. But like one of the things that I really think has changed that I think's a lot better, organization in terms of how we actually are and with providing scripts. Also, the way we work, and I don't know if this has been mentioned in any other interviews, is a lot of the time, as the director, cosmovsgoku will let us just run our lines. And if that means that we end up coming up with something that wasn't originally written in the script because we think it's better, he'll 100% utilize that into the show if it works and it follows through with it. Like a lot of the jokes, I think most of the jokes that are for some of my characters were made from you and I just mucking around.
Yeah.
I know further down the track when we went into lockdown and stuff like that, and I had my own recording suite, things changed a little bit with that, and I started having to make up the jokes myself. You weren't there to assist me because we couldn't physically be in the same room until now, obviously. But yeah, it was...
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I thought I was green screened.
I was trying to not break the immersion for them, dude. Now
Sorry.
you've just broken the immersion. Now they're just going to sit there thinking he's talking to himself and he looks like a weirdo. I'm sorry, guys, for Cosmo versus Goku. He clearly doesn't know how live camera stuff works. So,
Sorry, go on.
But where was I?
Immersion. No.
Yeah, no, that was before. Where was I before immersion? Because you broke it again.
We couldn't be in the same room together because of
Yes,
lockdown.
that's right. So we couldn't be in the same room together because of COVID and lockdowns and everything like that. But it was just a different experience entirely. Am I still answering the same question, or have I gone on a tangent? I think
No, go on a tangent. I don't mind.
I think I've gone on a tangent. I don't
That's
know.
right. It's entertaining for the fans.
What's that?
It's entertaining for the fans.
I mean, yeah. Hi guys. I'm Ange. Nice to meet you. This is how my streams are as well. Oh, that's another thing I'll talk to you about later. But yeah, just in general, the difference between Brotherhood and Journeyman is they're two different things, and they always will be, because Journeyman is obviously Digimon and Naruto, whereas Brotherhood was Full Metal Alchemist. And we had different jokes, we had different personalities back then as well. I think these days we're able to incorporate a lot more subtlety with our jokes rather than on the nose, like really in your face kind of jokes. And I really like that humor that we have now in comparison to what we used to have. Because like I still liked it back then, but looking back on what we did, I don't like it as much. Whereas this, I feel like could stand a little bit more to the test of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I rewatched. So at this point in time, I finished episode 2 of Digimon, which released on the 1st of August 2021, starring, of course, Christopher Dowling as Etemon.
Thank you very much.
I finished editing that about a month ago.
Yeah.
And so it's on YouTube and it's ready to go. On release date, it's shit.
Stop hitting your mic. Jeez. You think this guy isn't a voice actor or something?
It's ready to go. But in retrospect, I went back and I watched episode 17. It's one of the only remaining episodes from the FMA days on YouTube. And episode 17 of the FMA Abridged was this massive crossover event. For the hell of it. I don't even remember why. I thought it was a good idea at the time. And we did most of Digimon Adventure in like 10 minutes. And maybe that's what got my brain going about doing full arcs. I don't know. But the Etemon portion in particular is something I've really focused on because I've just been doing that.
Yeah.
A couple of things. One, I'm really glad I don't voice Etemon anymore because I sounded like shit.
I mean, you didn't know any better.
For those that don't know, my Etemon talks like this. No, that's my impression of your Etemon. I can't remember how I did it. It was just
Etemon's always going to be like this, and he's got to have high energy. You didn't really do much high energy from memory. You were really like mumbling. We're totally going to have an Etemon off one day. It'll be fun.
You've already won. I can see it.
Well, we did technically have the Etemon off on our Facebook messages when we were doing the Facebook voice message.
That's
together.
right, yeah.
We were literally saying it together, and I was like, I think my Etemon's much better than your Etemon. Oh,
I totally agree. Oh. But even like just looking at the editing, the lip flaps, the sound, the quality of the footage. Like we use TV rips from Disney XD rather than the DVD rips we use today.
Yeah, there was a lot of difference in terms of the quality as well of the image that we used, because we were using things off different kinds of rips. They weren't as higher quality because of that.
We sailed the high seas for a lot of footage.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Even though that's what some people would consider that doing.
You mean the, what was it? The Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
My stream last Friday. Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. I still got to apologize for that one.
Yeah, it was really funny. If you want to, I'm pretty sure the VOD is still up. At the time that we are recording this, the VOD is still up.
Yeah, it may be down though by that time because I'm only affiliated on Twitch still, and I think we only get it for 2 weeks. So
Saxter26 has been clipping them though.
yes, that is true. You can see the clips on twitch.tv/ThatGuyAnge. I almost forgot how to do my own plug. I was like, that thing.
And to that note, I will come back to your Twitch streaming
Yeah,
career.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
You mentioned earlier in the week you don't want to talk too much about it, and I'm going to respect that.
Yeah, no, I just, it's the main focus is obviously on Journeyman Abridged for me with this. So,
but with on the note of Etemon, and you spoke briefly before about how much you love playing Neji. And I know how much you love playing Rock Lee. Would you say that one of them is your favorite character, or that you play, or?
No, yeah, Neji, 100%. Neji.
I'm really sorry then,
Why?
because he's got fuck all lines.
I know, but he's my favorite. Like, out of all of them, he's my favorite. But I think that may also be part of the reason why, because I haven't overplayed him.
Yep.
And so that's probably why he's still my favorite, because he's that character that I always want to do more for, but he's not around that much.
Yep.
Whereas like Etemon obviously was like a full hour of recording for me or something like that with just Etemon alone, with just episode 2.
Yep.
And then obviously there will be more Etemon in the future. Not much, but there will be. And
Episode 4 of Naruto, Digimon Adventure Full Arc Abridged.
That's right. Etemon will now be starring in Naruto as well. It is a new announcement here, ladies and gentlemen.
Currently planned for release on the 1st of February 2022. Look at me, I'm just... No, this isn't a sit down, this is a plug fest.
Oh, yeah, just you, though. I did one. I count one for me. Count... What is it? Hang on. Count 10 for him. It was really hard to get into that camera.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know how Link sits here.
Well, he doesn't... He normally sits on that, but it is over here.
On that.
Yeah.
My arm's getting cut off. Now my arm's falling off.
Look at your hand. Look at it. Look at it go. There we go. But yeah, Neji will always be my favorite. I know that he won't have many lines, but I just think the way that I play him is very different to a lot of the other characters. A lot of the other characters I play, like I said earlier, they're high energy. They're very out there and just always high volume as well. Whereas, when I'm playing them, I'm like, I'm Rock Lee. It's really nice to meet you. Or like Etemon is like, I'm Etemon. I'm still going to be high energy, and I'm going to show those Digidestin who they really are in comparison to me. Whereas Neji is very much like, I am not going to make any motion at all to do this voice. And really, I'm actually just using my real voice, but I'm doing it with a monotonous type of tone. And so it's very different. And it's just a great way to play something, because it helps your vocal cords when you're not going a higher volume than you normally would, especially with something that's not your natural tone. And so I'm basically using my natural tone without any of the melodic variants that you would normally have when you're speaking. And it just makes for a completely different way to do a voice acted character.
Yeah, I'm the same with Sasuke. Because, Sasuke talks like this, Naruto, I want to fight you now. Versus Minato, who's just my voice, but me sounding kind for once. And fatherly and nice. And...
Like I said earlier, guys, whip, crack, 9 hour, I still have nightmares.
Let it be known, he didn't just record Rock Lee, Neji, and Hiruzen in that session. He also recorded... watch me fuck this up. He also recorded Tobirama and Hashirama as well. The first 2 Hokage.
Yep.
And... was that it?
No, I think there was one more. I just can't remember the name.
Oh, didn't you also record the Digimon from the start of episode 1 of Digimon in that?
Yes, because you said, hey, actually, I'll get you to do these Digimon too. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, because there was a couple of Digimon transformations that I did that I don't remember the names of.
Lord Eliamon and... That's one I remember because you were like, Lord Etemon. And you played
Lord Etemon. That's the way I did it.
And you played a duo character with
NPC.
Ibonwumon.
Was it?
Yes, with NPC.
Yeah.
It was Ibonwumon.
That's it. I don't even know how I did the voice of that one.
I think I just gave you a direction of like Scottish and Irish or something like that.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
I don't
I think
know.
it was because Lord Etemon, you're like, I'm going to get you to do these together, and Matt NPC did one and I did the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's there you go, guys.
That is sometimes how we cast, by the way. It's like, oh, you want to play this? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Or it'll be like, I think you'd be perfect for this role. Here you go.
Yeah.
Or we'll be saying, oh, hey, I really, really want to go for this role. I think you should put me in it. And then they'll say, prove it to us. And so we've got to just do a few voice lines of how we think the character would be, and how we imagine them in our mind.
So, sorry.
Just going off that, I did want to ask you a question, actually.
That's
right, I'm now interviewing him. I've flipped the universe around.
My interview isn't for like 6-7 months. What
Too
is this?
bad. Deal with it. No, but I did want to ask you a question.
Yes, of course.
I do know that we had the idea for a character swap. Is that something that we'll be looking at?
That is something I was thinking about that in the car on the way here, because I was lightly scripting that video in my head. Even though we're not shooting it for like 2 years,
that's way in the future, guys.
That
so
is-
forget I said anything.
Yeah, let's.
This whole section is just literally going to be.
I'm really impressed you kept a consistent. Excuse me.
Apologies for anyone's ears for that scene.
But to that note, that's a really, really nice segue. Because I wanted to ask, when you look at the characters, the character list, or you see a character in an episode, is there any characters you say, man, I really wish I was playing that character. I wish I'd been cast that character instead.
It's hard because there are so many of the actors that I think are perfect for their roles. I know like Shy Ghost is just amazing in a lot of the roles in Digimon. Like as what was one of them that I remember? Izzy, that's right. Izzy.
I remember you popped huge.
Yeah, that was amazing. Just Shy Ghost doing Izzy, and I was like, who was doing Izzy's voice? Did you just? Is that still just like from the actual episode? Have you just done? And you like, no, that's Shy Ghost. I went, what?
Yeah.
Huh? And I was astounded. I was just amazing. Like and so many of them are just amazing voice actors and just really know how to work their voices in the way that they need to get the sound and inflections and everything that they need. And I think it's wonderful. So it's really hard to say that I would be better at anyone else.
Oh, I just want to clarify. You're not saying that. You
Well,
know,
no,
you
yeah,
would be
no,
better,
but like that's what I mean. That's what I do when I think about.
Okay.
Would I be better as this character, or like would I be good as this character? It's like I generally compare myself to the person who's actually playing that character. And I'm like, I couldn't do any better.
In that case, are there any characters coming up that haven't been cast yet that you are interested in being cast as?
I think you should probably ask me the question about what's my association with Naruto and Digimon before you ask me that one.
All right. Well, in that case, let's jump a question. What is your relationship with Naruto and with Digimon as franchises?
Nothing. That's why I wanted to answer that first. No, in all honesty, I've never watched Naruto before, which is why I say the name terribly, like a white man. Because I just don't know. And even Digimon, like I watched the first arc of Digimon that we basically recorded. I watched that. I think they had that one and then a second arc and then the movie, I think is how it went in IRL.
In the West, yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I ever watched. I never watched really past that.
Okay.
So I don't know much in terms... And mind you, I was a kid when I watched that. I'm now a 30-year-old man, and I was a little child watching that.
Was.
Yeah, exactly, was. You're right, was. I was a child. He's correct in that. He's not an adult. He's still a child, but I was a child. No, but honestly, back when I was a little kid, I just never... Like, I watched it. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. but I never continued watching it from the point that it was no longer on Cheese TV.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know what Cheese TV is, it's an early morning children's television show here in Australia. They were amazing. I think they then turned into Toasted TV. I don't even know if they still have anything around like that.
Nope.
But it was great. It was amazing. It was really, detrimental 90s television.
It was detrimental?
Detrimental. I think that's the right word.
That's like saying it was bad for TV.
No, detrimental means that it's necessary, isn't it?
No.
Ignore what I said.
Definition of detrimental. Adjective, tending to cause harm.
It was anti-detrimental.
And for those that think we're playing up all this laughing, no, this is our genuine chemistry IRL.
Yeah, this is actually what we're like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have much to do with it aside from that. So when it comes to me thinking about any future characters that I want to play, I legitimately don't know who there is. Okay. Which is why, I rely on you a lot of times to come to me and say, I think you'd be great for this role. And then I try out a few different ways of doing that line. Like with the Crow character that I had to record a little while ago. Yeah. That's coming up in, I think, a few episodes soon or something.
July.
Next year. Yeah. Next year. There you go, guys. Shh, don't say anything. You heard it here first, but also don't hear it again. Don't play this video back. It will self-destruct in 5 seconds after it finishes playing.
4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so you are playing the role of Crow in Itachi Shinden, or Itachi True Story Light and Darkness Abridged, released on the 23rd of July, 2022. I just can't help myself, can I?
No, you're just plugging away, man. I think hang on. No, I shouldn't mention that on this stream.
Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. In joke, guys. In joke. You'll never know.
You'll understand when you're older.
Yeah. Pretty much. It doesn't matter how old you are actually now. You'll understand when you're older.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, he did.
So what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene? Well, actually, if you want to press that button over there for me, buddy.
Let me just move around the mic.
Get comfy again.
Oh, wow, you had something preset.
Yeah, I did. I was organized.
So this, I believe, is from episode 3.
Yeah, as you can see... Oh, well, you probably can't. I was going to say, as you can probably see up there, I think it said episode 3.
This is the tuning exam preliminaries. It's Lee versus Gara. This is the first scene that was developed in my head when we were writing the series. Let's take a look.
Those just punches and steps that you've got going so much better.
It's just insane, and I love, do I mention that? You recorded the efforts and the fight noises for this about less than a week after having a serious car accident.
Oh yeah, that's right, I did. I forgot about that.
So I'd like to apologize for all the standing for that.
That's
but yeah, it's I think it almost added to the intensity because you were in physical agony, and it added to the intensity.
Yeah, I do use a lot of actual real life, how I'm feeling and stuff like that to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
and it does add to the scene. I think this, honestly, and no offense to any of our voice actors or anything like that, but part of Journeyman, I feel like this is one of our best scenes that we've got.
Hands down. I totally agree.
Just like your voice acting, the way that it works together, the way that we actually did everything as well.
And you just saw it just before, the characters going, that's something that we never used to do in our previous projects. It's something that was developed for us. It wasn't developed, end of story, but it's something we only started doing as of this series. I love that punch, by the way.
Yeah. I also love the sound that Super Smash Brothers.
Not Smash Brothers, but it was actually a DBZ sound effect.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like Smash Brothers.
Oh, I've got plans for those.
I do like
talking over the
music going as well.
Yeah.
Just that background.
Fun fact, this episode had the first line for each of the Sans Flicks. So Kankuro just had his first line, then Tamari just now. And Gara's about to have his first line, I think, from memory. Or maybe we've already passed it, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Gaara's first line.
You're too
Hardest line to
slow.
record, honestly.
Right?
just that short line.
And that is the sound of CW's Flash. I've never watched it, but this I just love this. Let's just
That's the shadow of the dancing leaf.
dancing leaf.
Primary
Lotus! So good.
I did it.
I did it!
Did you?
It's time for the ultimate taijutsu technique.
He's really going to do it?
Oh man, saying
He's
taijutsu.
opening the 8 inner gates.
Oh no.
It's not the hardest word last.
No, but it was one of. Remember I had to say this line like 7 times or something just to get it right?
And this power up,
Oh.
gorgeous. It just sounds so guttural, and it's exactly what we were doing.
I remember having to do the for it, like just how long we did recording just that alone.
Yeah.
And the Kamehameha that we got here as well. Kamehameha reverse lotus!
So good. It's so good.
It's over.
I did it. That's right, Lee.
It is.
Actually, you said it like that. That's right, Lee. He can't hear any of this, by the way, guys. I'm the one with the headphones in. He's not.
I'm working
so
purely from memory.
You are. You did a pretty good job. You were
Match
close.
is
You were
over.
close.
Ring the bell, Hayate.
We'll just give props
Ring
to
the
that.
bell, Hayate! NPC in that part.
Conqueror.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Lucky.
Do you want to press the button again? But yeah, so that was our my favorite scene. In all honesty, I love that scene. I think everything about that scene, the sound effects, the voice acting, even the background music that you've got going as well, it just all brings it together to make it an fully rounded out scene that looks like something that could be on actual television or DVD or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than it just being a passion project, really. It's I feel like that could actually be like the real scene from the show, and that's one of the things that I love so much about it.
For us, we never want to that point, we never want to just do a fight scene for the sake of doing a fight scene. And I know that we only have so much control over that for obvious reasons. But for us, we want to make sure we go into a fight scene with a clear plan about how we're going to structure the fight scene within its pre-existing structure.
Yeah.
And it's something we really, really focus on. Like and it's also part of the reason why we don't just write the whole series now.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to give it time to marinate and so on and so forth. It was only in the last couple of weeks that I figured out, and I'm going to say a couple of things you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about. But the real ones will know. I've only just in the last couple of weeks figured out how to write Naruto versus Pain and Hinata's confession and all of that. And that's just something that's been like just marinating in the back of my head for a long time.
I think one of the things that had helped too is the way that we do a lot of our jokes. How we discussed about it earlier. We don't just have pre-written jokes all the time.
Yeah.
We do have things that pop up as part of the recording. That's just like that works perfectly. That's in.
Like Etemon's last one, we won't spoil it because it comes out before episode 2 of Digimon. But that line you wrote where you had to explain the context for Etemon.
Oh yeah.
And then Mimi has her line straight after.
Yeah.
Like it's just that wasn't originally that scene.
Yeah, no, I remember because I made the joke on the thing, and then when I sent the recording to you, you're like, dude, I'm using this. I was like, okay, sure.
For us, the scripts are obviously necessary for many reasons, but
That can be a guideline.
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
They are very much a guideline, and they. I guess another difference between when we did FMA versus JMA
Yeah.
is that, and this took me a long time to break psychologically, and I wish that you hadn't recorded first because I think there's a lot more we could have found with Rock Lee.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that I want to give actors permission to play now.
Yeah.
Which is something it took me a long time. Should have hit the mic again. It took me a long time to get used to doing that when we started.
Yeah.
And now, like, look at how much characters like Mimi in Digimon.
Yeah. Meme.
Meme, my. Whatever you call her. I started calling her memers in the last couple of days. I don't know why.
Memers.
Memers. Or characters like Naruto.
Yeah.
Pythonix is flourishing as Naruto since
Yeah.
I let him go off script so much now. And it just works so much. And a lot of our best jokes, I'm going to make myself look like a really shit writer now, come from improvisation.
But, and you're not a shit writer because that improvisation does come off the joke that you originally write. So you are helping us find our own path in how we believe our characters would react to certain things, because you're giving us that basis, that guideline of this is what I think they would say, and then we go, you know what, that's good, that's really good, but this is how we believe it would be, and we can portray it better in that way because we've already kind of got that character's mentality already around us. We've already we know how we're portraying that character, and we know that character because it is our character, and then we go from there.
Yeah, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah,
Rock Lee. I wrote some Rock Lee. I wrote a script that features Rock Lee for the first time in a long time. A couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago. I even said to you,
actually, I think it was about a month now from here.
possibly.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I'd forgotten how to write Rock Lee, but then I watched some old clips, such as the scene we just watched now.
Yeah.
And it was just such a joy to be able to write blah 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 blah, and then maybe Sakura Haruno will finally go on a date with me.
Yeah, and that line in itself, the Sakura Haruno will finally go on a date with me. Yeah. That actually took us quite a long time to record as well, because even just me saying Sakura Haruno as Rock Lee was difficult for me because I'm not getting the right inflections. I'm not getting the right tempo on how to say the name. I think I was going like Sakura Haruno or something like that.
Something like that.
I was really butchering the name. And I remember you laughing a lot about it too, because it's like, how are you getting this so wrong? And I turn to you and go, how do you even know it?
I've been reading this series since 2007. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't even know anything about it. I think I remember in high school, one of my friends bringing it up on a computer in the library. That's about the most I ever experienced with Naruto before now. In all honesty, like, I've never. I think I watched a few episodes somewhere. Because all the Chunin exam stuff. I remember most of that.
Yeah. Oh, that was in syndication on Australian TV for a long time.
Yeah, so that probably is where I watched it, but I'm not sure.
Yep.
I just feel like that's probably where I saw it, because I know, like, when we do that arc of Bridge, I'm like, I know this, I know that, I know this as well. I remember that part. I've seen this bit, but then getting past the Chunin exams, I'm like, don't know that part. Didn't know this bit existed. Who's that guy? Okay, yep, cool. That guy looks like a snake. Cool, yep, whatever.
Thank you, little Rock Lee.
Will you go on a date with me? Oh, God.
I really like using Orochimaru's voice to freak out people.
I mean, it never freaks me out, because you know it takes a lot to freak me out.
Yeah. One day I'll cross the line, and in that day I'll apologize.
And on that day, I won't talk to you.
Billy.
But yeah, so like the way that we do those lines and the hilarity behind them, it's a mixture of what you provide us and what we can provide the recording.
So would you say in that case that you have a favorite joke? Doesn't even have to be a joke you're involved in necessarily, it could even be a joke coming up.
Well, I think my absolute favorite would have to be the song that I sang as Etemon.
Oh, the song that you sent me that I still haven't mixed because I haven't been able to record Gazimon yet.
Yeah.
Because Gazimon fucked my throat.
Yeah.
That sounded better in my head, I promise.
But yeah, no, in all honesty, I think that's probably my favorite. Just doing that whole parody and obviously it's the actual song, but doing it as Etemon for the whole thing. I had so much fun recording that, man. I was here at my desk. I had my microphone up high. I was standing around singing it. I was having a time of my life.
I was driving home from Twisted Flame's house, I think, when I first listened to that.
Yeah.
And I got to a certain part in it, and I'm trying to avoid spoiling what it is, because I really want to release it one day. But I found myself as Gazimon doing,
Yeah, all the backup tracking
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
should we just announce it?
I mean,
I feel like we're dancing around
if you want.
Well,
It depends on when it's going to get released. So that's the
I
problem.
don't know.
Because we can't really announce something if we don't have a release date. I mean, we could give them a hint of like, a little less conversation, a little more action, please.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. I don't remember the words.
One day it'll be mixed, and I'll record Gazimon for it, and it'll be funny. It'll be a good time.
I think we got to do it before we complete
Digimon.
the Etemon sections of Digimon, because I know that he's got Metal Etemon as well. So I think we got to do it before Metal Etemon.
So you want to see it before February?
I think so.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll take me like an hour to do.
It's not huge.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little snippet that we can release to add on.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be kind of cool if we get all the different concert scenes and stuff and just make it look like he's singing it at a concert.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the total plan.
Cool.
We're totally spoiling this whole
Yeah,
plan.
you guys are going to know it before we even do.
I mean, Etemon's up there right now.
Yeah, he is. Just my little Etemon that Cosmo vs Goku got me.
I fucking love the art of the new TCG. And that was the first Etemon card I pulled out of a pack, and I said, I've got to give this to Chris.
Yeah. I remember you telling me. I was just like,
Why did you hesitate then?
I don't know, because
Your name is Christopher Dowling in the
but
credits.
I know, but everyone just calls me Ange all the time. It's just weird. I was like, he called me by my name. What? But yeah, no, I do use my real name. As we discussed originally, it was because for voice acting reasons, I can use it for promotions and stuff like that, for anything that I may go for in the future.
Well, that's a really nice segue. I keep saying that.
That's a really nice segue as well.
But what was the you touched on it very briefly, but what was the thought process for you beginning in Journeyman Abridged as using your real name and choosing to continue doing that after you came up with the moniker of ThatGuyAnge for Twitch? And what is, in addition, the meaning behind ThatGuyAnge and why you chose to stick with Christopher Dowling as opposed to switching over?
Well, I mean, so just to begin with, like I just said, Christopher Dowling, I decided to use my real name for the pure fact that I'm undiscoverable online. So if anyone did decide, hey, I'm going to Google this guy's name and try to find him, you can't find me. I intentionally keep myself off. What's that?
I'm going to put that to the test.
Go ahead. Well, actually, you can find me because you have me on Facebook. But other people who on Facebook can't find me because only friends of friends can.
There's actually a screenwriter in America called Chris Dowling.
Yeah, there is. And he worked on a movie, and I actually got messaged on Facebook once by someone before I changed my privacy settings going, hey, did you make this film? And I went, nope. But yeah, so...
I haven't seen any of these films. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But yeah, since then, because of that, I know I'm not discoverable online because I made sure of it. Yep. And so what I wanted to do was to be able to utilize these pieces that we're putting together for potential acting portfolios so that I could get into voice acting of some kind or another, because that is something that I've always dreamed of doing to a certain degree, whether it's video game voice acting, whether it's animation voice acting, even just radio acting as well. That's something that I've always loved to do.
Like radio plays?
Yeah, like a radio DJ kind of thing. Like, you know, being on a talk show or something like that. Just using my voice to earn money. That's the dream. Well, actually, no.
You kind of do that now.
Yeah, I was going to say streaming's more the dream because I play video games and I get paid money for it every month. That's good. But yeah, spilling water on myself.
That's right. I won't tell anybody. You just did, but I won't.
Cut. There we go. So that's where you're going to cut up to where it says cut, and then we'll bring it back to here, and then we'll just be talking about a cut, and everyone's going to be like, the hell?
What is going on, guys? My name is Cosmo vs Goku, and
No, we're not starting again. I'm not prepared. The video has been played. I can't get it set back to where it was. But yeah, no. So because of that, I started out as Christopher Dowling on Journeyman Abridged and then moved to ThatGuyAnge on Twitch when I started doing my Twitch streaming back in August 2020. And I was really sort of like, I had been thinking about it. I was like, should I change it? Should I change it? I even thought about maybe approaching you and going, hey, look, maybe we should swap it over to ThatGuyAnge because I
would have done it.
Yeah, no, I know. But I then thought about it. I was like, you know what? I've started as Christopher Dowling. If I swap to ThatGuyAnge, people are going to see that and they're going to go, oh, if they replaced the actor, what happened with the actor? Da 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 da. And I didn't want to cause confusion. So I decided, let's keep this project as this, and then my other projects, I'll be ThatGuyAnge for those.
Well, it's funny you mentioned August. When this comes out, you would have been a Twitch streamer for 11 months.
Yep.
And Twitch affiliate. Exactly.
Yep.
And a Twitch affiliate for 10 months. Now, I know that you've got another avenue and project coming up where you're going to be going into this in more detail.
Yep.
So, not take away from that, can you tell us in one word how it feels for you coming up onto your 12-month anniversary of being a Twitch streamer, and where we can hear the full story coming up?
In one word.
Sorry, that's two thoughts. In one word.
I'm like, this guy asking the impossible. What the hell? Tired.
Yeah.
Too much. No, that's two words. Much.
Okay, in one word, tell us how it feels to encapsulate 12 months of Twitch streaming. And then separately, in a different thought, where can we hear the whole story?
Is that also one word? Or?
No. Where can we hear the full story? Because I'm just as interested as you.
Yeah, so in one word, so doing 12 months of tired is legitimately the word I would go with.
Yeah.
I love every second of it I do, and I really enjoy streaming. I enjoy the community that we're building. I enjoy everyone being there. I love it. It's actually quite amazing. And just seeing the same like names popping up regularly over a few months' time, and like seeing people that have come in from anywhere that they've come in from, and then seeing them come back just makes me feel really good about the content that I'm creating, the community that we're building, and just the fact that they want to be there and they want to develop the stream with me, because Twitch is 100% a community-based program. It's not the streamer and chat. It's the streamer with chat. It's always going to be everyone together, because it's not just me making the content. Chat is there putting in messages, helping me to make jokes as well. I'm creating banter off their banter, and you know, there are people out there that are troll, like not in the way of like the negative troll, but like, you know, they'll troll for fun of it. Like to mention someone who is in my streams quite often, Vermont Twitch. He loves to come out with random jokes, and he really likes to make fun of me, and in a friendly way. Obviously, he means it with all the love in the world. But like, he even got me to raid Amaranth on Twitch, who, if for those of you who don't know, Amaranth is a hot tub streamer and is one of the most controversial hot tub streamers, and I'm very against her content personally, but that's my own opinion. That's not the opinion of JMA. And he made me raid her because I didn't know who she was at the time.
Vermont Bonk.
Yeah, pretty much. That is also one of my redeemables, is bad Vermont. And it's the bonk noise. But yeah.
Can we play it?
No. Okay. Maybe. I don't know if
I
it'll play.
I know we're doing this through OBS.
It's through my OBS. I don't know if it'll play. I can try. Where are
I think
we?
it's further up.
There it is. That didn't play.
Okay.
But yeah, so that, I think it's probably not playing because it's not coming through the right sound thing at the moment, because I've set it through my Rodecaster. But yeah. Anyway, we'll just cut that again. It's going to be a lot of cuts, guys. You're literally going to be seeing us going from like to that.
JoJo's pose.
But yeah, so that's obviously my Twitch journey. And then I know that's more than one word. Shut up, Robert. Cosmo versus Goku.
Whatever.
Just cut that part out.
Yeah, okay. Sure. It's cut.
I just totally added him. But no,
Yeah, whatever.
we're just going to cut this part out.
Okay.
Legitimately, though. Like, actually cut this part out.
Shoot, cut it.
So we're just going to stop for a sec. I'm pretty sure where we were before, and then we can just bring it back. Okay.
I will work it out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Anywho,
Wait, so how much of that do you... Genuinely, how much of that do you want me to cut?
I mean, I don't want your name being in there. We can just cut the name.
Okay, that's what you mean, yeah.
We could even make a joke about it of just like censored or something like that. Literally, you could use all of this and just the name part, and it's just me saying I totally added you, and then underneath you can do subtitles or something like right under here you can be like, no, this way because I gotta go the right way that you write it. But like ThatGuyAnge is 100% an asshole for adding out my name.
Just like with Mr. Black.
You could use that as well. I could just be like
Mr. Black.
But yeah, so then moving on to that, obviously, future project is Friday nights on Twitch. I have what's called the Butt Boys stream. So it's myself and another Twitch streamer who is currently having a bit of issues with his internet there in America. So he's currently not streaming, but he is looking at other projects. And we've been looking at this project for a little while. We don't have an exact release date as of yet, but we are looking at doing a podcast. We're going to be recording it most likely starting next weekend, because this weekend I'm doing this. But yeah, we're gonna start recording, and the first episode is going to be a discussion on a game that we're very excited for, which is called Icarus Survival. So it's a survival game based on another planet, in an alternate universe where we're able to land on this planet, collect resources, and go from there. It looks amazing. It's on Steam for something like $33 Australian. They were originally talking about being free to play, but that's something that we'll discuss in the podcast. And then on top of that as well, there'll be potential for other projects through that, hopefully. I know Machinosaur is also looking at doing a YouTube channel where he releases the Butt Boys episodes on his end through YouTube, but it'll be mostly his perspective of the Butt Boy stream. So it'll be the Butt Boy stream on my end. Everyone will see all my content on Twitch TV / ThatGuyAnge. And then Machinosaur's content on YouTube. Unfortunately, he doesn't have 100 subscribers yet. So if you guys could go find Machinosaur and give him a subscriber, he can then get YouTube / Machinosaur.
Getting to 100 subscribers can be difficult. It took us 8 months, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was about that, because I remember being at like 56 for a while.
Yeah. And then, we hit 100 last August, I think it was.
Yeah, it was about when I started streaming, I think.
Well, I'm not saying there's a correlation. There probably isn't.
There isn't, because
I
didn't get big into streaming until like a month later when I hit affiliate.
Yeah.
But yeah, even then, affiliate's only 50 subscribers, 50 followers on Twitch.
So you hit it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's not a high number.
Oh, yeah.
So like it wouldn't have been through me. It would have been your own achievements.
Not mine.
I meant you as a plural. I
Oh,
wasn't
right.
referring
Like the
to
general you.
Yeah, I wasn't referring to you. You directly. I was referring to a you. That's why I swept my hand. You. But
I really wish Link was in here.
I mean, yeah, no, he'd get restless and be making too much noise, so we can't have him when we're recording.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything you asked me. I'm sorry it wasn't all in one word, but yeah.
That's right. I was just trying to keep it to one word because I didn't want to take away from your story on the eventual Butt Boys podcast. But
Well, no, you said you wanted that in one word too, so.
I wasn't kidding when I said this is our actual dynamic.
Yeah.
We've been friends for like 10 years. Sorry, needed a water break.
Yeah, that's fine. Second time, guys. Second time.
Take a shot every time I fuck up something.
We should have like a number counter above your head. Cue number counter.
CVG own count. That's a TFS reference. So psychologically, how do you prepare to play the characters that you play?
I'm Rock Lee. Etemon's the greatest. I am Hiruzen Saratobi. That was not Hiruzen Sarutobi.
That was not Heroes in Sarutobi at all.
Well, it was kind of,
Yeah,
but
it was getting there, but
yeah.
you haven't
But yeah.
you haven't played him at age for a while.
Yeah, no, I played a younger one recently, which was actually really interesting to do. Playing a different character. That actually took me a bit to get into because I had to sort of play around with his voice at a few different levels and octaves. I think you heard me doing that a bit, but I'm not sure if I actually recorded that part or not. I can't remember. But yeah, Hiruzen Sarutobi. That's more sort of the one I did, I think, on the... And then the older one was, I am Hiruzen Sarutobi. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Okay.
But yeah, basically I generally just go with like their name, sort of like their introduction that they normally do.
Yep.
It's generally the best way for me to just prepare because I don't have a mentality per se. I just, once I start the voice, I slip into it naturally without even having to think about it. Even ThatGuyAnge technically is a character to a certain degree. He is me, but it's like
You're up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. Turn myself up to 11, you get ThatGuyAnge.
Yeah.
10, I'm still Chris. It's fine.
Your Twitch followers are going to be so confused watching. It's like, this, what?
Well, every streamer has a character to a certain degree. Like even Ghost in the Machine, for instances, who's a good friend of mine, who actually, in turn, I realized I didn't answer the question about ThatGuyAnge, but he's the one who helped me create the username ThatGuyAnge.
Oh, okay.
It was originally just Ange from video game, because I went to do Angels because I was a young child and didn't know any better with a Z and everything.
You gotta have the and the fancy S with like the 6 lines.
Well, no,
Wherever that came from.
I actually did. It was up arrow I, like lowercase I, up arrow to make a winged angel with a halo. That's what I used to do next to my name. So it's an up arrow like that.
Yep.
An I. And then an
This
up
is the
arrow.
camera, so...
Oh, yeah, so up arrow like that.
Yep.
And then an I, and then an up arrow like that. So it was the wings as like triangles, and then the eye with a dot on the top that made the halo.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You should just overlay it with what I'm trying to talk about. So put it there.
Yep.
Then the I and the dot here, there. All right. Now they're in place. And now lastly, the last triangle here. Okay. Now you guys see. It's right here. I'm making so much more work for him. He hates me right now, and I love it. I love it.
There's a mini game in a Mario game where you have to, I think it's in Mario Odyssey, where you have to make Mario's face from memory. And that just
so
reminded me
hard.
of that.
That'd be so hard.
Like, you've got all the pieces there because
Yeah.
you know what Mario looks like. You can see him.
Oh, yeah.
But to actually put the pieces of the puzzle where they're supposed to go on this template of his face, like, you get the most... And that kind of reminded me, like, it's, you know, that, and then, like, that, and then that.
I think you literally just did the triangle in the same spot.
Look, we'll see when it's edited.
We're just going to currently have, like, angels with wings over our heads right now. It's going to be great. Amazing. You know what? Even, like, a Jesus statue, like the one from, what is it, Dogma, just comes in from the side here, and he's now here, and, yeah. He hates me, guys. He hates me, and I love it. I love it.
So, normally, for those who don't know, we normally release these... No, we don't normally release these shit. We release them very well. But
I mean...
we normally release these in audio only.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
But as part of a cross promotion between us and his Twitch stream, we are releasing this in full, which is why we're filming it.
Yep.
It's going to be the first ever interview released in full, so I'm not looking forward to.
I mean, you did do the announcement video in full. That was the first time we ever did that with video.
And that worked well.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever shown our faces before. Like, anyone had shown their faces before on the channel.
Aside from... Oh, yeah, on the channel.
I honestly think we haven't done that before.
We had, but the video I made sure got taken down.
Okay.
The video is no longer available anymore because it didn't go as swimmingly as we like. And it's not something we make a habit of. Like, if a video is not well received, but this was very, very poorly received. Like, this
What
was...
the video? I don't even know if I know this one.
I'll tell you off stream.
Okay.
But yeah, we made the choice to bring the video down due to how negatively received it was, and it was beginning to impact the rest of our content. So that was the first face reveal that we did. But then there was the announcement video, which released on the 27th of May, which had...
Plugging again. Just get a plug count above his head, please. Thank you.
I was wearing this shirt in that, actually.
And that jacket. And those pants.
No, I think I was wearing black pants in that.
Okay. If you can't see, he's wearing tracksuit pants, guys. You can just see his groin.
Like, just
enjoy that. You know.
I forgot what I was saying.
Facial releases, and then you started plugging.
You could have phrased that a lot better.
Maybe I did that intentionally. Did you ever think of that? That's right. YouTube is now banning us because of me.
Please, God, no.
There is no affiliation between JMA and ThatGuyAnge.
Despite what the announcement video said, but we plugged your stream and the Butt Boys stream.
That is true. And
I was very elated that Machina Store gave us permission to be able to showcase him as well in that video.
Yes.
It's one thing that we do. Like, if there's going to be a release where a character or an actor wasn't originally part of the script or wasn't intended to be part of that release, we always...
Machinosaur's face here, please. Thank you.
You've got his logo up there.
No, I want his face in my hand.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've still got footage. I'll just, like... We'll always ask permission to include you in a release that you weren't originally meant to be a part of. Like, there's a release that in episode 3 of Digimon.
That's right. You did message me about that and asked me if I was cool with it. And I think I just sent you a thumbs up reaction.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
which
like
I
normally
figured.
do.
And look, it's always a reasonable, it's a reasonable assumption. I know what people say about assuming, but it's a reasonable assumption that you're probably going to be okay with it.
What do they say about assuming, Rob? Bleep that out again. That's the problem with being friends for 10 years. I don't say his username.
Just as a courtesy, like, just so you don't hear your voice unexpectedly in a release that you weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
Or if it's in an episode and you're like, no, I don't want to be part of that episode for whatever reason,
Yeah. I doubt any one of us would, but it is nice that you guys have the forethought to basically say, hey, look, we're doing this. Are you cool with it?
Yeah. But now you're in all 5 episodes of Digimon.
Yeah. Damn right I am, as it should be.
Well, look at all the episodes of Naruto you got added to just because of flashbacks.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, I didn't get asked about any of those.
Didn't I ask you?
No, not a single flashback. It's probably because I was already in the episode of someone else, but still.
I think there's one time when you weren't, in which case I am very sorry.
How dare you remove that video now? No, joking.
I'll just take the one flashback. The flashback was Neji being punched, and it was just like a. Urgh! But because, of course, we were using you, I had to credit you. Yeah. Unlike when I forgot to make sure Rising Revenge was credited as Kurama in episode 5. Which he and I still joke. Like, he's fine with it. Like, he doesn't care. But, it's a joke between he and I.
Yeah.
So, is there another question I was going to ask? Yes, there is. Because
I've got the list up there for you, buddy.
There is. But I was trying to think of a way to do it naturally rather than going, what's the next question?
I mean, here... It's going to cover my camera a little bit, but I'll try and bring it closer for you there. Is that better?
Can you just cover your camera a bit more?
Hang on. Just that's about the best I can do.
That's actually a lot better, thank you.
No worries.
So, what does it... You're in the minority when it comes to our recording sessions because the way you record is very different to the way that everyone else records.
Yep.
And that's for various reasons. It took me a long time to get used to that. Just want to, as a complete shoot, it's quite uncomfortable with it to begin with, but you've proven me wrong, as you always have. you know.
That's my lot in life, guys. I live to prove him wrong.
But what does a typical recording session look like for you?
I'm Rock Lee. That's literally it.
Yeah, but
in this room, guys, this is where I record. I don't even have him here normally.
I just realized this is the first time
He's not actually here, by the way. I'm not breaking the immersion.
This is the first time, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you've produced content with somebody else in the studio.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I was about to say aside from Alex.
Yeah, well, yeah, aside from Alex. So Alex has obviously been here, who's my partner. She was on a stream with me. It was a Friday Night Butt Boy stream that Machine as well could not attend, so she took his place for me, which was very lovely of her. She's not normally overly comfortable being on camera, so that was quite amazing of her to do. But yeah, Alex is probably the only other person who's recorded in this studio.
Oh, thank you.
You're not welcome. You're not here. I told you, you're an overlay man. You're not here.
All of this back and forth, it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, I'm literally talking to myself, guys. This is what I do for a living.
This is all scripted.
No, it's not scripted. His part's scripted. Mine's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I make my own script and my own jokes.
It's like Blink, the episode of Doctor Who Blink, when Sally Sparrow is watching the DVD of the Doctor, and the Doctor's got a list of everything that Sally Sparrow says, and he responds to her in kind, in real time, because wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah. So basically, my recordings.
Hang on, I'll be back in a sec. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, was that implied by just talking to you? But yeah, basically the way I record is just sitting in this room. I've got 3 monitors set up on my desk, and I normally have my middle monitor with my scripts, my left monitor with the actual cuts that you've done, whether you've already added efforts and lines in there. Or...
Sorry, in my head, when you said script, I imagine coding script for Twitch. My brain just suddenly went to how a Twitch stream looks like for you, completely forgetting what I asked. So
it's
sorry.
Just all the Matrix just scrolling. Yeah, you know, I that's pretty much it. I've literally created him, guys. CVG isn't actually real. But yeah, no, I've got 3 monitors. I've got my normally my recording software on my right monitor. My left monitor has got the actual footage that CVG is. They can't see shit. It looks like you're literally pointing at your camera.
Yeah, it's like here. The light on my hand right now is
there, and there. That's the way you do it. But yeah, basically on my left monitor, I've got the actual footage playing so that I can go in real time to it. Because as you know, with the way that I record, I normally do it as best to the character's actions as I can. Very much like how they would really record it in an actual recording studio with voice actors and things like that.
So do you have the 3 beeps and go where the 4th would be, or like boop, boop, boop?
No, normally what I do, it's a slightly different because voice actors, like they will have those beep time-ins, but they'll also be able to watch the footage along with it whilst they're doing it. So there's no sound on the footage, but they're recording along to it. And you normally provide us with, even like if the other people have recorded first, their lines will be in that footage. So I can actually have someone to talk to and go off, bounce off and things like that. Kind of like how I'm doing it with you right now. It's, you know, you're pre-recorded and I'm bouncing off you. You've sent me the footage. It's currently playing over there. And I've just edited it into my own footage so that we're not in the same room.
Hey, can you guys see this sheet I'm holding up?
No, I've edited
Like
it out.
it's just like here, the scarf.
I've
edited
it
out, okay.
out. Yeah. I mean, I insert fake image there. More work for you, buddy.
This was meant to be such an easy upload.
Nope. I've made it 20 hours editing.
It'll take me a few hours, yeah.
Look, it won't be that hard. Just get a 2D crappy image and just make it float there on Premiere Pro. That's all you need to do.
I think I've got any 2D crappy images of you, but I don't.
Then you cut that one out and use that.
I'm
then.
so bad at masking.
I mean, it's easier on Adobe, not Premiere Pro. Which one? After Effects. So much easier on After Effects to do something like that.
Though I did do some masking for episode 3 of Digimon, which I'll show you off script.
Yeah, that'd be
Off
great.
stream.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because it's the darkest joke we've ever told.
He means that light-wise, as in like it was the lights were off, it was nighttime. Just yeah.
The scene is set at night.
There you go. See, I was right, guys. I was right. Ha!
No, in terms of dark humor, it's not offensive. We don't do offensive jokes, but
I mean, I don't know about you, but that fence looked pretty hard to sit on.
What?
We don't do any offensive jokes. Offensive jokes. But
I don't even have a response. Is that an original SNES? Or is that just a box that looks like one?
it's a box that looks like one.
Because it's got like the...
It's a box that looks like one. It has all my comics in it.
Nice. I haven't been in here since you remodeled in here.
Yep.
And put all that shelving in.
That they can not
I
really
still
see.
haven't been here since you put that shelving in.
Yeah, no, you know, I just took a photo for him. He's watched me on stream. That's about it. He's a stalker, guys. I haven't really known him for 10 years. He just told me to do that. Otherwise, he was going to kill my family. And
I'm not going to kill his family. Please don't report us. Genuinely, we met at an engagement party. He got me drunk. With the help of my now wife.
I mean, she was telling me not to.
Yeah, I know, but she didn't exactly stop you.
I mean, she was telling me not to.
Yeah, but... Still funny.
Hey, it wasn't even really me that was getting you drunk from memory. I think it was...
That person.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but you still contributed. Oh, and that's right. You were tasked with babysitting me while he got me drunk. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yep.
what it was. Because you guys knew no one there, and
Aside
I knew
from-
a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put with you because you just get along with everyone. As is evidence from your Twitch stream.
Dude, if you think I get along with everyone, why do you think I edit you into this? I don't want you here. See, now edit him in. Yep, cool. Edit him in. Now edit him out. Cool. Done. I'm really good at editing, guys. Really good.
Marvel Studios, hire him. Yeah, please remember to... please help me remember to show you that bit I edited.
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
day.
Well. But yeah, you know, that's the basic gist of us.
Yeah. So, shifting gears slightly, what else is you into? That
Is
was not
you
a grammatically
into?
correct sentence. But like, aside from
Pants,
Twitch streaming,
a hoodie,
and
a hat, glasses. I'm in them.
you're in a chair right now.
Yeah, I'm in a chair. I'm in a house.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
But aside from Twitch streaming and voice acting being part of JMA,
I
what
drive in a car.
what other things is Christopher ThatGuyAnge Dowling into?
Playing
Aside from
video
pants,
games.
a shirt.
Sleep.
Yeah.
My bed. I'm into my bed.
Yep.
Yeah, no, in all honesty, there's not a huge amount that I don't do outside of my projects now. Most of my projects take up all my time. So there's my
Feel
day
that.
job.
Yep.
I work in a customer service job, so obviously, again, using my voice for something. And then there's voice acting that I do with you on the, like, once a month, maybe every couple of months sort of occasion. I've got streaming, which I do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time over on twitch.tv/ThatGuyAnge. That is now my second plug, guys. I think he's still on his fourth. No. Actually, more than that. You're on your 10th, I think. We need counters. Can we please have counters above our heads for that? They'll just pop up occasionally whenever we're doing it. We'll see the count number.
I'll put think Pong, like the line in Pong, like a, and on one side it'll be your counter, and then on the other it'll be mine. And
Ba-dunk. Ba-dunk.
are you gonna make me?
Yep. Hey, you're the one with the idea.
Oh man, I have so much regret right now. It'll be worth it because it'll be entertaining to watch.
Yeah. I just this white cube that goes boing, boing. I'll even eat it for you, make it easier. He's hating me so much right now. I love it. All you do is just shrink it down, and when it gets to my mouth and I close it, and you can edit that.
Or I just won't put it in, you'll just look silly.
I mean, eat the raw. If it's not there, then it'll look like you're being lazy, and if it is there, then I look amazing. So it kind of works out.
Either way, you win.
Yeah.
So you mentioned video games and
Yeah.
that you're not having much time to do anything else really aside from personal projects. So
Yeah.
what would you say is your favorite video game?
To date, probably the one that everyone has seen me flash multiple times. It's right there. One of these two.
For those that don't know, could you please explain?
Yeah, so Legend of Zelda and Assassin's Creed. Don't play as much Assassin's Creed as I used to because I prefer playing it on console. That's what I used to play on. But Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite game series. Started out with Ocarina of Time, then moved on to Majora's Mask, and then went on through a few different games bit by bit. I never owned a Wii, but I did have an ex who had a Wii, and I got to play Skyward Sword on that. I never played Twilight Princess. I would have loved to. Played Wind Waker as well, but like a lot of them are played out of order.
Yep.
But I think my absolute favorite, which is a little bit controversial to say for Zelda fans, would have to be Breath of the Wild, because I'm not editing anything in. That actually looks edited in.
It does.
That's really weird.
Just because my hand just shrunk. It's like going through a...
It's a time dilate. Like I'm just gonna.
The thing about green screening is it's, I'm an image.
Yeah, I could just completely, and you're eliminated. But yeah, and he's back.
Hang on, do that again. Why am I backwards?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. What was the question? Where are we? Who am I? What's going on? He's got me kidnapped, people. Help me!
Like, I don't think it's controversial to say because Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game too.
Yeah, no, look, it is good. It's great. It's a great game. I love that game. I love the open world about it. Like the fact that you can sort of choose your own path in it as well. If you really want to, you can go fight Ganon straight away and just get your ass kicked.
Some people can beat him though. Like it's a straight.
No. They still get their ass kicked. I mean, in real life.
By you.
But it's a great game, and the premise behind it is amazing. I'm really excited to see what they do with Breath of the Wild 2. But
next year, I think it was announced.
I think it was for 2022. It was meant to be 2021, but they had to push back due to COVID and all that sort of stuff.
Makes sense.
But I'm really excited for it, and that's probably my favorite video game. I do try to make some time to play it, but most of my time is either here in front of this computer, in front of my keyboard and my sound deck and my stream deck and all that sort of stuff, speaking into this microphone, or I am sitting on the couch that is literally just on the other side of that wall, watching TV with Alex, enjoying some relaxation time because
which is always well deserved.
Spread myself too thin. I think the only last thing that I realized I didn't talk about is actually a new thing that I'm now approaching, which is being a part of Deathmatch Down Under. I've just joined Deathmatch Down Under as part of Ring Crew. So it's an Australian indie wrestling organisation where they work with wrestlers and crew and all that sort of stuff to create amazing matches and shows that they run. Generally, I think it's once a month. And yeah, I've just joined on with them, and I'm really excited for that. It'll be great because I've been advertising them on my stream for ages.
Is that what that sticker
yeah,
is?
that's what the sticker here is for. And I know that they've also been doing the same in kind by promoting me at their shows, showing me on the big projector screens that they've got, and doing that for the last few months. And then eventually they were just like, hey, look, we love the work that you do for us when you help us clean up and everything, as they refer to it as bump out. We'd really love to actually give you a job. And I was like, this is the best day in my life, because now I get to go to shows for free.
Free plus physical labor.
Yeah, but like, I get paid for it. Instead of paying to go to the show, I get paid to go to the show. But no, I really enjoy the what they do there, and the work that everyone puts in. It's quite amazing to see the quality of productions that they put in. It looks like a real, obviously indie still, because it's not like a big production like WWE or something, but it looks like a real indie wrestling show. And just when you watch it on IWTV, it's amazing. IWTV.live/DMDU, I think. I don't know how to get to their live streaming thing. Do you know?
No, I'm not sure what the exact IWTV.
Just go to IWTV.live and then look up DMDU. Watch all the shows that they've currently had since the start of this year. It's been amazing. Every single show is well worth the watch. And you may even see me in one of the more recent cuts. I was around the ring at the time. It was cool.
Yeah, I got hit with glass at that show.
Yeah,
But everyone,
so did I.
I'm pretty sure everyone did.
I got covered in glass on that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, CVG is also a part of it, which is
Weird
great.
hearing you call me CVG after all this time.
I mean, I've said your name twice in different ways, and we bleeped it out. It's fine.
What do we bleep out?
We bleeped out your name.
What do we bleep out?
Your name that's not Cosmo versus Goku. I'm not gonna fall for that, Robert.
So
They're totally gonna know what it is because they're gonna see me going, Robert.
Oh, and also the fact that my Twitter handle doesn't say my shoot name at all.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it?
No, it does. It totally does. So you mentioned Skyward Sword being an ex-partner of yours had it on Wii, or had a Wii and you played on that.
Yeah.
Are you going to get the HD remaster?
I'm very tempted to, yes. I think it'll be pretty cool to actually play this storyline again. I've only ever played through it once, so I know the storyline vaguely. But it'd be really cool to be able to play through it again, see what it was like, see what the ringmaster's like as well, and just re-experience that game.
How do you feel about it being the first game in the timeline?
I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's actually not.
Really?
Yeah. It's really not.
Really?
It's not.
Zelda official timeline. Explains what. The Legend of the Goddess and the Hero. Creation, the creation of land and sky. Hero of the Goddess Hylia, Skyward Sword. Followed by Minish Cap, Four Swords, Ocarina, and then it splits into the 3 separate timelines. That's from Hyrule Historia. So if that's wrong, can you expand on that?
Well, it's all about which timeline you're actually looking at, because there are multiple timelines.
Yes.
There are 3 separate timelines.
Yes. Which
Skyward
all split
Sword.
from Ocarina.
What's that?
Which all split from Ocarina.
No, it doesn't.
Really?
No. So the way that
You're
they
fighting with Hyrule Historia?
I am fighting with Hyrule Historia because the way that they write it, you can actually have a group of collection of games go from one to the end, or you can have similar games. So you can take some from this, have another storyline arc, or another one. But they're all in themselves. They are either all standalone, all grouped together, or they're 3 separate groups. It's not there's a starting one and they branch off from there.
You know the loading circle? I'm pretty sure I just need to somehow edit that onto my head there.
I look, Hyrule Historia is made by a collection of fans.
It's not official.
It's not, from my understanding, it's not actually from the writers themselves.
Okay.
I'd need to double check that, but from my understanding, it's not the actual writers of the games. It's not from... I've forgotten his name. The creator. He created...
It starts with A.
Yeah. They actually have the mountain in Breath of the Wild that's for him. I've forgotten his name.
A.G. Aonuma?
Yeah,
Is that it?
I think so. Sounds familiar.
Let me just scroll. Zelda Time was published by Nintendo's Zelda Companion official book, Hyrule Historia. Blah 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 blah. 18 months on Zelda boss Eiji Aonuma still isn't telling the Godfather of Zelda franchise is keeping stum. What the fuck does that mean? But he hasn't now at least explained exactly why Breath of the Wild's timeline placement must remain secret.
But as you heard, Breath of the Wild's timeline must remain secret.
Yes.
I honestly believe because of the way that they work with Breath of the Wild and how, like, they say, like, 100 years ago this happened and da 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 da, and Calamity Ganon in itself.
Head Ganon.
What's that?
Sometimes people, when looking at the Zelda timeline, would think of it in terms of their own personal head Ganon. Sorry. I deserve that. Go on.
Owned count 25. just off his head. I don't even care what number he's on. He's up to 25 now. But yeah, I honestly believe that Breath of the Wild would actually be considered the first game. Because if you look at the way that Skyward Sword works, they have floating cities. They have technology, right? That technology is not really shown except for the bird species, which has never been seen before. Never been seen before. So Rivali, that bird species in Breath of the Wild has not been in any other games.
Okay.
It's literally a Breath of the Wild species.
I've actually got a theory in that case based off that. I have a theory after seeing what we saw at E3 from Breath of the Wild 2 that, and you saying, my original theory is that Breath of the Wild 2 was going to feature time travel. But if you're pitching that Breath of the Wild is the start of the timeline, like between creation and Skyward Sword, that it would go creation, Breath of the Wild 2, Skyward Sword. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. Okay. Because the way I see it is that bird species dies off in the end, right? I feel like they have a regression because they are their own species, they have their own people and all that sort of stuff. And then in Skyward Sword, there are the bird creatures that people fly.
Is that... I've never played Skyward Sword personally. I think
they
my
call
Breath
them
of the Wild...
Luftwings or something? I'm not sure.
I think my love of Breath of the Wild is slightly biased. It's the only game I've actually played start to finish.
Yeah.
Like I touched on Wind Waker when it came out on GameCube. I owned the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3DS remakes, but I've barely touched them.
Yep.
I don't even know where they are at home. I think they're in storage. So yeah, that's what I so that's my exposure. But if that's so, Skyward Sword's got like the big beaks. I mean, the bird creatures you fly on with. Or am I thinking of a different game?
No, you think of the right one. So Skyward
That's
Sword.
where I was trying to get to.
You've got So Skyward Sword. You've got bird type creatures that you fly on, which I think they call them Luftwings, something like that. And then in in Breath of the Wild, there are these bird type creatures that Rivali, who's one of the champions, has actually come from. The only explanation it could be is either they've been a people that were taken over and repressed, just like the Gorons were, just like the Zora were. They were hidden away. They were pushed into a dark corner and basically forgotten about by the Hylians, which kind of represent elf men type people. And then I think what's occurred is they've killed off this bird-like species over time, because we don't see them in any other game.
Interesting.
So it's either the very first sort of game, or it's the one that everything should branch off.
Okay.
But I truly believe that it's the first game.
Fair. Well, I don't want to take anything away from that theory. I think you've got a really solid foundation for a theory there.
It's just a theory, a game theory.
You beat me by 1 second. I swear to God. Stop making me go off script on this pre-recorded green screen I'm on. But I'll be interested to see how Breath of the Wild 2 plays into that theory.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be something down the track that we'd look at and go from there. But yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah. So I meant to ask you earlier, and if this was audio only, I just moved this question to earlier. But I can't really do that because it will look really awkward to do it now. And now I can see that you're probably doing a
Owned count for 20 million now.
I was trying to set up a joke.
That laugh, guys, when he starts that laugh, it's because he's getting really angry. See how angry he is? Look at him. He's going bright red and everything. He's like, I hate you so much right now. I just want to fucking punch you in the face.
What is your favorite line that you've had? Because I know you love the monologue of Neji.
Yeah.
I know you love everything you said as Etemon. I know you love saying as Rock Lee that you hope that one day Sakura Haruno will finally go on a date with you. Nice guy pose. I know as Hiruzen Sarutobi you like saying Hiruzen Sarutobi.
It's just the way I get into his voice.
Yeah. But do you have a favorite line? Like a line that transcends all others you've had? Or is it a line coming up in a future project that we can tease today?
I'm not sure about this one, to be honest with you. I kind of have like, as you just mentioned, and very kind of you pre-recorded, Robert. I feel like majority of the lines that I've said are my favorite for the most part because we've worked on them together.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I really enjoy, and that's why I can't say that I have an absolute 100% singular favorite, because there's a piece of me in a lot of my lines, and that's something that I really cherish, because there'd be other projects out there that people are just like, no, say it our way, that's it, you can't change it, and it can get really.
Pretty sure that's called the FMA Bridge by the Brotherhood.
Yeah. But yeah, no, in all honesty though, like the fact that you guys have leniency really helps me to enjoy what we're doing more. It 100% makes me feel like I'm also part of the actual group rather than coming in and just recording and being like a hired actor kind of thing.
It's really important for us.
So it's like, I actually get to be part of the project too, because I'm adding in my own component to it.
Yeah.
But if my hand was tied behind my back and I really had to decide, it'd probably be the line from Digimon with Etemon. I don't know if you actually ended up using it, but the one that I had to explain to you.
Oh, it's in there.
It's in there? It's the one sitting on the toilet?
That you just spoiled, yeah.
Yeah, that one. So insert line here.
I'm not going to edit that in because you will see it on the 1st of August, 2021.
I really want it to be, though, like I say insert line here and the words insert line here come up in brackets.
Fuck, that's a good idea, actually.
It's like still sitting there and I have to like swat it away to get rid of it.
I'm pretty sure we need to put a swear counter. I've sworn so many times.
Have you? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, is that a shoot or you working me right now?
No, I legitimately didn't notice.
I've said fucking shit so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to have a bleep counter, man. This is a child-friendly video.
Swear. Oh,
No, not even.
Count.
No swear count. Take that away. No, get rid of that. There's no swear count. All right. Literally, just put a black censor bar over his mouth every time he swears, and then put the swear symbols. The @ exclamation point, hashtag, all those sort of ones, over the top of that black bar.
Or we'll have the black censor bar, but the word uncensored on it.
That's also not good. Won't you get demonetized for that?
We're not monetizing this.
Okay, fair enough then.
Yeah.
Well then,
I don't care.
fucking shit, dick, donkey boogers.
What's that phrase that someone used on your stream on Friday night? Honey dicking?
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
Neither
still.
do I. like I said then, what if
I thought it was just Winnie the Pooh having a good time.
Look, all I said is, I'm pretty sure I said it best when I said, what if the real Honey Dickin is the friends we made along the way?
That wasn't you.
If that's a really inappropriate
That
phrase, we
wasn't
are
him.
so
He didn't
sorry.
say that. He's just trying to take ownership for someone else's line. It wasn't
I will
him.
put a screenshot of my tweet right here.
No, he didn't. He tweeted it, but he didn't say it in chat. It was someone else.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I thought the VOD.
No, it was
Wait, does the
this
VOD say display chat?
Uh,
I'd never find it anyway.
You probably wouldn't find it.
No, I think it was like, fuck it, whatever. I don't care anymore.
It was him. I'm just kidding around. I just wanted to make him believe it wasn't.
So it's interesting that we played that clip from episode 3 because episode 3 released on the 10th of March 2020.
Yep.
Fast forward 12 months, episode 8 releases. Episode 9, I should say, releases. No, episode 8. Episode 8 releases on the 10th of March 2021. 12
Just put
months.
some confusion symbols above his head.
America explained. That's 12 months between drinks for Rock Lee appearances in JMA. He didn't appear. He didn't appear in the background. He didn't appear in a cameo capacity in any way. We didn't see him. So how was it? And it was a total 100% coincidence. How was that for you? Seeing Rock Lee 12 months later.
I mean, I was happy about it. Like, Rock Lee is a great character. I think that they should have made Rock Lee instead of Naruto. Just that's what the TV show should be.
I'm just going to put Rock Lee in his ninja pals right here.
Yeah, you know, that's a TV show I think everyone would love to watch. It's just
It's
the
so
Adventures
funny.
of Rock Lee. That's what it would be called as well. The Adventures of Rock Lee, like, you know, the
And not
Adventures of
Rock Lee and
Monkey.
his ninja pals.
No, not Rock Lee. Just the Adventures of Rock Lee, and it's like that of Monkey Magic sort of style, where it's Rock Lee with a few people that follow him, and he's just amazing.
Rock Lee is amazing.
Yeah, he really is. I'm Rock Lee, and I approve this message.
I'm Gara, and I also approve.
Shut up, Gara. We all know I beat you and you cheated.
I approve the message of this loser.
I really
Yeah.
hope that didn't peak on my mic. I can't see the levels because my screen's turned off.
It doesn't peak on mine.
Yeah, it's because I'm not recording into your mic.
But yeah, you know, I think it's really cool. I really enjoyed seeing Rock Lee appear again in the episodes. I feel like we should add more Rock Lee, just like a frame here and there. Just literally, people don't notice it, but if you
Like
pause
Brad
at the
Pitt in
right
Fight
second,
Club.
what's that?
Like Brad Pitt in
Yeah,
Fight Club.
exactly. Just like, you know, if you pause it at the right second, you'll find a Rock Lee.
See, what he's not telling you is you now need to go back and watch every episode of JMA to find a hidden Rock Lee in every episode.
Do it, guys! I dare you. Now, then come back to this episode. So pause this episode right now.
I blinked, sorry.
Okay, now you're back to this episode because you've just gone through all of the episodes and found that there is no frozen scene of Rock Lee in any of the episodes, and we're now here to apologize formally on behalf of myself and Cosmo vs. Goku and the rest of JMA Abridged. We do apologize.
But thanks for putting the views up. I bring it up because it's interesting that there were 12 months between Rock Lee appearances because you recorded all of Rock Lee in that 20-hour session you mentioned where you changed your voice.
Yeah. So it's the same Rock Lee from that same original recording. So there's no change in his voice or anything. I think the thing that's scariest for me about that is that when we do record Rock Lee again, because I know we're planning on doing that, I've got to try and make sure it sounds the same because that's what I wanted to do.
It's for one release, it's okay for he will need to sound the same. But for
The
other
rest.
releases, spoilers, ship it in.
I think you
It's
already
okay
mentioned
to
that.
age him up a little bit.
Yeah, but I said I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I liked the idea of him still being like the same voice as his prepubescent sort of child, but he's an adult and he's like, looks like this, and it's just, I'm Rock Lee still. I haven't changed a bit, and my balls haven't even dropped.
He wasn't acting as Rock Lee then. That was full Christopher Dowling.
I'm pretty sure they won't believe that. Just saying.
We said he looks like this.
I can go even deeper if you like.
Like, can you imagine Rock Lee like that? Like,
I'm Rock Lee, and guess what? Sakura Haruno has gone on a date with me.
Surprise, that was me using the transformation jutsu.
It wasn't. I'm still here.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
But yeah, I think that's the one thing that I'm worried about is making sure that I'm able to get the same kind of Rock Lee sound. Obviously, like, I do a lot of Rock Lee stuff off the stream. Like, I use it as a sound command in my Twitch channel.
Exclamation point, Rock Lee.
There you go. Just another plug counter above his head, please.
You said it, not me!
You were the one who did the plug. You said exclamation point Rock Lee on Twitch.
Hey, you did it just then.
Just put Robert's ponytail on me right now and his cap and his head. And just like... But yeah, you know, it's I love using his voice. The problem is, though, is will I get it the same as what I want it to be? And yes, I know there is some allowances for potentially allowing to age his voice up and things like that. But where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Where's the comedic effect of seeing an adult Rock Lee doing a Rock Lee voice like this?
You're gonna send me two different recordings. One of Rock Lee and one of Rock Lee.
Little does he know, I'm just going to send him one recording of Rock Lee the whole time.
I'll be like, cool, can you do it again? Thanks.
And I just won't read his message ever.
I'll just keep dropping Rock Lee trading cards in your letterbox until you do it. See that face? That's the face he pulls when he's really pissed off at me. And he's trying to hide it. I see it all the time on stream. It's like, fuck, he's saying something stupid again on stream. I'm just going to ignore that.
I'm not denying it.
Yeah, I know you're not.
But yeah, like, I just think, you know, we're going in circles now. So maybe ask me the next question. That's what I think.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Going in circles like Lee was going in circles around Gara?
We're still just circles, man.
Yeah.
Circles. Yeah. Circle here, circle there, circle back here, circle over on your face. It's just circles everywhere.
Boom. Like that episode, that 3 Hours of Horror where Homer gets a donut head. Boom.
That's what his head looks like now.
Boom. I'm going to hate myself so much during post for this.
I mean, you're the one doing the effort
Yeah.
here. So.
Yeah. I'm just creating myself more work. So I guess, what's next for you?
I guess I kind of mentioned this a bit earlier in terms of other projects, but mainly Twitch streaming is my main thing, and then the podcast that Machinist and I'll be doing. They're kind of the main projects that I'm
Jesus
working on.
Christ. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've just noticed. You have a cat named Link, who we all adore, and I'll never forget the day I met him.
Yep.
He's torn shreds off your arm.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it on camera on stream on Friday, but I didn't realize how bad it was in person.
You can't see it as bad there, but yeah, he really has been biting into me a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah. You guys all laugh at it.
Yeah, but now I'm seeing it IRL. I'm like, Jesus Christ, because I know how much that can hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. What's next for you? Sorry.
Yeah, like I said, just podcast and stream mainly. Obviously, any future projects that we have with JMA, I'll still be involved with. I know that you and I have discussed this, and it's probably the right platform to now announce it on, that I'll probably be doing a little bit less in terms of a lot of the lines in the future.
Yep.
Just like easing up a bit because of how much time I don't have. But I will still be around. I'll still be doing a lot, as much as I can,
if it helps. And
yeah.
part of that is the fact that all the characters you generally play will fuck off into the background anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So it actually works really well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there are a couple of Christopher Dowling heavy episodes, but at the same time too, you could also go months without recording anything.
Exactly, and that's sort of like that. That's why like my main projects that I'm looking at will be Twitch and podcast, but that's only mostly because of what we've discussed in terms of characters going to backgrounds. There may be a character or two that I pick up here and there, depending on whether or not.
Like Yamato.
Yeah, exactly. Yamato, I'm picking him up.
Can I talk about the idea about Yamato for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
So because you were cast as the first Hokage, I think you also, so the casting of Yamato is such a complex thing, because Yamato, for those that don't know, is a clone of the first Hokage. So because you're playing Hashirama, I'm like, well, you can also play Yamato.
Yeah.
And then there's a character by the name of Zaku Abumi, who done got bit by this pink-haired bitch.
Who done got bit by this pink-haired bitch?
Who looks like a young Yamato.
Yeah.
So you play like that's how all that worked together. So you will be playing Yamato. I believe we have announced that.
Yes, and I think I've already recorded the lines for Yamato too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you have started recording Yamato.
Yep.
His first appearance is in Itachi Shinden. Which for anyone familiar with that story would know that that's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm really looking forward to seeing Yamato flesh out. But I think you've picked up one other character in Shippuden as well, but that's a character that doesn't have much dialogue at all.
Yeah, I think it was the one who you said was mostly like grunting and stuff, wasn't it? I can't remember his name though.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, cool, because I can't remember his name anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm going to save that for
that guy. You know,
future cast.
that guy, the one that does the grunts. Yeah, him. That's who I'm playing.
Saving that for a future casting announcement. Unless you just drop it on stream one day. I'm like, fuck, now we have to announce it.
I mean, I
Like
do
you
that
did
all
with
the
Etemon.
time. I literally do that all the time. It's my stream, man. I talk about my life on there.
You just dropped Etemon. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because I was going to put it in this big announcement or whatever. I'm not.
Hey, guys, if you actually want to get any, like, things before the announcement, just come to my stream. Twitch.tv/ThatGuyAnge. Now put Robert's name above me because I'm doing a plug, so it has to be Robert. Again, the angry laughter.
I'm not angry.
Yeah, he is. Those are tears of anger, not tears of joy. He's furious. Look at that face.
I got an eyelash in my eye. Ow.
He says.
Oh, that's better. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. But that was also because I just think you'd be great in that role.
I appreciate it.
And it's actually a really complex role. Do you just grunt?
That's how I'm playing him, guys.
Yeah. when this character,
It's the same grunt. I'm literally just doing that one grunt. That's it.
what's that old little Karibo joke? It's even got Takahata 101 in it. Hi. Twisted Flames will understand that joke. I'm not sure you will. It's a very old video. But yeah, there is this character where there is this character that shows up later in Shippuden, who I've cast you as. But I don't think like just being conscious of the amount of time that you have. I think that's Yamato and this other character, the other two characters, main characters that you've picked up for Shippuden.
Yeah, well, like I know
Ahead of
that
the
there
war.
was the one that I mentioned, like Crow, obviously, is down the track and stuff like that. There's a few other characters there.
I'm pretty sure that's a one-off character anyway.
It is. It's just for that one episode that we're doing. But
2 off.
is it a 2? I thought it was a 1.
Like, he does that. Crow will probably show up again later.
Okay. That was so hard to do that voice.
And he was cast in that role because he was doing this voice while playing. What was that game called?
Pumpkin Jack.
Pumpkin Jack. He just started doing his voice while playing this game on stream. I'm like, ah! Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Jack! I'm an Australian crow!
Starting the Flaming Crows.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on a second. Why are we flaming, though?
Chlamydia.
I don't like this guy. But yeah, you know.
Ow, sorry. I just stretched my knee and it popped and it hurt.
Cut.
Directed by cosmovsgoku.
No, it's directed by, what is it, Tom Wolfe and that
Robert B. Wild or something? I don't
something
know.
like that. Yeah, just put that up now.
Directed by George Lucas.
I feel bad for George Lucas if he directed this. Jeez.
Yeah, there'll be a couple of other characters you'll pick up in Shippuden.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. Like, I've got some ideas, but it's very much one off or two off, sort of. And that's in the absence of not
People
absence.
with my voice.
Yeah, it's more of a case of we need to cast people for the Fourth Great Ninja War, and we need to make use of everyone we have.
Yeah.
But be like the thing that we're recording after we finish this. Like, it'll take like 5 minutes to do.
This won't though.
This won't. I don't even know how long this has been. Well, how long have we been?
1 hour and 49 minutes and 27, 28, 29, 30 seconds.
No, it doesn't feel like it, and I think that's important. It doesn't feel like it's been so long.
Yeah, it feels like it's been 24 years.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, now it's just like on your side only. It's that rain scene where it's like you got to say you feel fine when you don't feel fine, and
it's okay to feel sad. There is help out there. You know, as the last surviving member of the Uchiha Massacre, I think I probably need this help. Yes, Master Ken. Oh shit, I didn't want to include that. Fuck. God.
I've not said anything, guys, for the last 5 minutes.
So I'm making him uncomfortable by doing random voices, which is par for the course. So, in closing, any final thoughts?
Good night, guys. I'm going to bed.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to the 6th ever cast interview. We hope you enjoyed this insight into the world of Journeyman Abridged. And thank you so much to our friend the Curly Cartoonist over on Twitter at Curly Cartoonist for her work on our personalized avatars. We'll see you in the next one coming on the 10th of September when I sit down with the voice of Tamari, Tenten, Tsunade, and so many more. Impolite bye.
Get out of my chair. That's where we cut it. No, I'm serious. That's where we cut it.